Man, tough loss today. Really tough loss. There's a lot of reasons why we lost this game, mainly on the defensive side of the ball, but we're gonna get there. But the Commanders lose 23-30 to the Ravens. We fought hard. I'll say specifically on the offensive side of the ball. I had us losing this game, so I'm not surprised by the outcome really. But it sucks because we had a lot of opportunities to win this game, man, to change the way the game, the outcome of this game. But let's start on the defensive side of the ball real quick. The defense was terrible today. It was terrible today, man. I mean, it was really bad. I don't know how else to put it. The defense was awful, and yeah, the Ravens' offense, explosive, elite. Lamar Jackson. What did Lamar have today? He was 20 for 26, 323 yards, one touchdown, an interception. He also had 11 carries on the ground, 40 yards. His longest carry was for 33 yards. It was on that design QB run. But yeah, that Ravens offense is dynamic, elite. But our defense, man, it was awful. Our secondary is just atrocious. Our pass rush is atrocious. And I would say early on, maybe like first quarter, they were actually getting to Lamar. You can even say second quarter as well, like halfway through the second quarter. Like they were getting to Lamar. But I feel like once Dorrance Armstrong came out with the injury, with the rib injury he suffered, the secondary, man, I'm not the secondary, sorry, the pass rush was looking absolutely awful, man. So it was bad. Dante Fowler Jr. He had 2 sacks today. He had the only sacks on the day. So shout out to Fowler. Guess that's the only guy that deserves some respect. He also got some pressure on Lamar too today. But overall, man, it was just bad. Jonathan Allen, he went down with an injury. He went down with a pec injury. I'm not sure the severity of that, but he did not return. And Javonte Jean Baptiste, after the game, he was spotted in the locker room with his cleat off. He was limping. So we suffered some injuries on the defense today, and that hurts us because we don't have the personnel on this defense to run what we want to run. Look, Joe Witt Jr., he wasn't perfect today. By no means was he perfect today. He wasn't good today. But at the same time, man, you got to, I would say give him some benefit of the doubt because this defense, man, I mean, the guys we just have on this defense, Benjamin St-Juste, he was getting torched today. Torched today. He was not good at all. And one of my critiques about Joe Witt Jr. today, we were constantly running man coverage against the Ravens receivers. Do not do that. Zay Flowers, what did Zay Flowers go for today? He went for 9 catches, 132 yards. He was killing us in the first half. Absolutely killing us in the first half on the jet sweeps, some wide receiver screens, on the quick throws. He was killing us. He was killing St-Juste. He was killing Igbenogany. Shout out to Mikey Sanders still. He got his first interception today. It was really nice. Mark Andrews dropped it. By the way, Mark Andrews had a touchdown today. We'll get to that in a bit, though. But Mikey Sanders still, he got his first interception today. He returned it for like 10, 20 yards. So that was really nice to see. So shout out to Mikey. I didn't really notice a lot from him today, but St-Juste, he was getting cooked in coverage. Quan Martin, didn't notice a lot of him. I mean, our secondary just overall, it was bad. And the blame goes on the players and the coaches. I mean, Joe Wood Jr., he was running, like I said, man coverage almost all day long, and we were just getting exploited. I mean, the Ravens receivers were just getting open easily. Rashad Bateman, he was getting open. Zay Flowers, he was getting open. And even when we were in zone coverage, like, we still could not stop that passing offense, man. Lamar was just finding open spots in the zone to Mark Andrews, to Bateman, to Flowers. I mean, they were just picking us apart on defense. There's no other way to put it, man. It was awful today. Absolutely awful today, man. It was just super disappointing. What else do I have to say about this defense? Oh, Mark Andrews, that touchdown he had, it was, I don't know why, but Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louver, they were just in the middle of the field not doing anything. And then I'm pretty sure Percy Butler was the free safety on that play, or the safety in the end zone on the play. I might have to replay it. But I think he was supposed to come over to Mark Andrews, try and pick the ball off or make a play on the ball. And he was coming, but I would say have Frankie Louvu or Bobby Wagner around that play as well, because they were both just sitting in the middle of the field. No, there was a running back there. Have one of those linebackers go towards Mark Andrews' area, but it was just bad today. All right, it was really bad today. And once again, going back to like man and zone coverage, we had some blitzes today, and on mostly all of our blitzes, we ran cover zero, meaning man coverage across the board. Joe Wood Jr., do you realize that you can still run zone coverage even if you're blitzing? You do not have to go full on cover zero, man to man across the board. Like, I just do not understand that at all, man. So, Joe Wood Jr., he has to be better. Our players have to be better. Although it's like we just don't have the personnel right now. We went up against a really good offense and we got absolutely destroyed on defense. So, not much to say. Like, not much good to say about this defense, man. All I got to say, really, the positives. Mikey Sanders still, he got an interception, and then Dante Fowler Jr., he had our only 2 sacks today. But overall, was not a good defensive performance at all. Moving on to the offensive side of the ball. Offense, I would say, is the reason why we were in this game, man. Jayden, he had another good game, 24 for 35, 269 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Was sacked 3 times. O-line, I felt like they didn't do the greatest job, handling the blitzes, the pressure Ravens were sending. I know Jayden almost threw an interception, actually, but the DB dropped it. He got away with one there. But I think Jayden overall, he was really good today. Okay, he was really good. Cliff, I want to talk about Cliff real quick. In the first quarter, I feel like Cliff was not good in the first quarter, okay? In the red zone, wasn't good. I did not like the play calls he had in the red zone. I thought they were pretty bad. And he had some bad play calls here and there for the remainder of the game. But overall, I feel like Cliff, he was pretty solid. I think he was fine overall. Had some bad play calls here and there, but overall, think he had a fine day. Definitely better than what Joe Wood Jr. did today, but Cliff, think he was fine today. We could not run the ball at all, and I wanted us to run the ball more. I understand why we didn't run it more, because that Ravens run defense is actually insane. And I'm not gonna lie, I underestimated how good their run defense was. Did we miss B-Rob this game? I would say kinda, but kinda not, because that Ravens run defense is just so good. I'm not sure if B-Rob really would have impacted or affected, how our run game was working today. So it just wasn't working today, and it is what it is. JD, he had 6 carries for 22 yards. The Ravens did a good job of keeping him in the pocket. Austin Eckler, he had 9 carries for 21 yards, so didn't do much. And then McNichols had 2 carries for 9 yards. Moving on to the receiving game, Zach Ertz, he had a pretty solid game. JD had some really nice throws to him. He had some pretty nice catches, 4 catches, 68 yards. Terry, man, he had a really good day today. 6 catches, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns, man. Those 2 touchdowns were some beautiful throws by Jayden, man, especially the one on 4th and goal. It was a really nice throw to Terry towards the left pylon, man. That connection right there, I absolutely love it, and they're only going to be getting better and better with that connection. Noah Brown, he hauled in some really good catches today. 4 catches, 58 yards. Olamide Zaccheaus, man, you got to catch that ball from Jayden early on in the game. I think it was either in the first or second quarter, can't remember exactly, but come on, man. That was a perfect throw by Jayden. Jayden did a great job of moving the linebacker off of OZ so he can fit it in to that window, get it to OZ, and OZ just dropped it. So OZ, you cannot drop the ball, man. You really can't. But overall, he had 4 catches, 27 yards. De'Ami Brown, he had a catch for 11 yards. It was on a screen pass. And then Luke McCaffrey, he had a catch for 5 yards. So that's how our receiving game fared today. And then going back to the O-line real quick, we just couldn't get anything going on the run game. And in the pass game, I thought that they weren't terrible, but at the same time, they did give up a lot of pressure throughout the game, especially on, when the Ravens sent blitzes. I feel like they did give up a lot of pressures. I want to talk about coaching decisions real quick. I honestly thought Dan Quinn was fine. I know some people got mad at him when we were on the one drive. Jayden almost threw an interception on 3rd down, but it was dropped by the DB. So it was 4th down. We were down by 7 points, 13-20, and we decided to punt the ball. To be honest, I don't mind it there. I'm pretty sure it was 4th and 5. Yeah, it was 4th and 5. Honestly, I don't mind because Tressway, he didn't pin the Ravens back down on their 5-yard line. The defense just got to do their job, though. And I can see it from a fan perspective where if your defense isn't doing their job, if they're letting up big plays, if they cannot stop the Ravens offense, then why not go for it on 4th and 5? That's, I guess, a fan's, perspective. That's how a fan could perceive it as. But honestly, I didn't mind, Dan Quinn decided to punt it there. And then on our final drive of the game where it was 4th down and Dan Quinn decided to, kick the field goal, look, we weren't going to stop the Ravens anyways. If we kicked the field goal, which we did, if we converted the fourth down and got a touchdown on that drive, if we give it back to the Ravens, the defense was not going to stop their offense, okay? Their defense was not, well, our defense was not going to stop the Ravens' offense, man. It just wasn't going to happen. So either way, we would have still lost this game. So I honestly did not mind Dan Quinn's, decisions on fourth downs. One more thing before I end off today's video. The refs were absolutely terrible today, all right? The refs were awful today, and I'm not putting all the blame on them, but Noah Brown, he got held on one play by Nate Wiggins, I'm pretty sure, and they didn't call anything there. So that was awful. So a few more examples I'm trying to see here. The hit on Jayden Daniels from Kyle Hamilton, I felt like that was a late hit, but they didn't call anything there. And there were a couple more times where the Ravens were holding, but the refs didn't call anything. So seems like the refs were kind of on the Ravens side, but I'm not blaming the refs for us losing this game. I'm not going to do that. There were ample opportunities for us to capitalize, to win this game, to affect the outcome of this game, and unfortunately, we just could not do that. But that is really it for today's video, man. Tough loss, 4-2, but, we fought hard. I would say that we fought hard, definitely, on offense. Defense, can they be better? I'm not sure. The personnel just isn't good enough. Once we get a real defense, man, next year, once we go all in, once we actually, put some value into this defense next year, man, I feel like we can be unstoppable, man. But, that's the next year. We're still, 6 weeks into the season. We still got a chance. It's not done. We're 4-2. We play the Panthers next week. That should be, I don't want to see easy W, but we should beat the Panthers next week, okay? We definitely should. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment down below your thoughts after today's game. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.